All right, Storm King's Thunder. We're gonna talk about the callback. I think that's what it's called. Storm King's Thunder. The campaign starts at level 5. It has an accelerated track at the beginning. If you don't want to start at level 5, you start at level 1 and rapid fire level up into level 5 characters over a very short amount of time. But the main thing that I've heard people do and that I did myself is that you run Lost Mines of Phandelver. So you do Lost Mines of Phandelver, or I guess nowadays you could do Dragon Heist, or maybe even Acquisitions Incorporated, or Out of the Abyss. I guess there's a lot of 1 to 5 campaigns you could do. And then you transition over into Storm King's Thunder. So one of the cool things about that is if you know that's what you're going to do, you can drop all sorts of tidbits and hints into the 1 to 5 path to hint at what's coming. So I added all sorts of stuff about giants, and the Black Spider was working for the Fire Giants, and all that kind of stuff. So those are, foreshadowing or whatever, and those are cool. We'll talk about them some other time. But I'm going to talk about callbacks. Tonight, they were trying to infiltrate this riverboat casino, which is an absolutely gorgeous map. Look at this map. Amazing. They even have like a table where they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's just so cool. They were infiltrating this riverboat, and they all had like disguises, and they were posing as different people. Larionis here, he was pretending to be a elven noble, which isn't much of a stretch because he is an elven noble as his background. But they had to like smooth talk their way onto the ship, and they had personas and all that jazz. And his whole thing was he was so rich, he had this entourage of guards with him, and he refused to like speak common. He won't only speak English and all this, or I mean Elvish and High Elvish and all that kind of stuff. So as he opens the doors of the casino, he sees over at the table this Yuan-Ti right here. And this Yuan-Ti druid was an NPC from the first part of the campaign, Lost Mines of Phandelver, that was very close to his character, and that his character had a history with, a tumultuous history with. And he asked, because sometimes I reuse tokens, because, I mean, I'm only human, and he's like, is that Valara or just Valara's token? I'm like, oh no, that's Valara. Why? Does that throw a monkey wrench into your plans? And it most assuredly did. All that emotional baggage from this NPC just came pouring in, and of course, the first thing she does when she sees him is shout, Larionis, is that you? And everything just kind of went to shit from there. I'm not saying the mission failed, because I think the mission was very successful. But his character was a mess. And then these two guys, Karak and Egan, they joined up for Storm King's Thunder, but were not in Lost Mines. So they had that experience of, like real life, where a person you're with runs into somebody from their past and starts acting crazy, and you don't know why. And of course, at the end of the session, they got filled in on the details and everything. But it was a great roleplay experience, because just this one NPC jogged all these memories they had from that first 5 levels or whatever. And now they're like level 8, and they've done so much other stuff. But yeah, it took them all the way back, and that nostalgia vibe was like real. And that's why it's really important in a longer campaign to remember where you came from, right? To bring the past back into the present game. It makes the world feel real. It makes the world feel dynamic, and it creates moments like this, like very emotional, funny, and interesting roleplay opportunities, because rather than having to build everything from scratch, they're able to sort of build on those previous relationships. So always keep track of the NPCs that mattered or that impacted your PCs a lot, and put them in your back pocket. And definitely don't be afraid to bust them back out, because like that's life. Running into X's, running into enemies, frenemies, running into people from your past. There's another big one that's going to drop relatively soon, from in the same manner. So that should be pretty interesting to see how that goes. But for now, this was a really cool experience. So that's all I got for you. Talk to you next time.